Hey everybody, it's Ron from Pick Dawgz. This is Ron's Bank Shot Breakdown. We're going to go over 5 college basketball games for Saturday, March 23rd, 2024. Now, if you like what you see, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comments section below. And if you're looking for my best bets to include my college basketball Bank Shot best bet, you can find those at the premium picks tab at pickdawgz.com. Alrighty, here we go. We got some round of 32 games in the NCAA tournament, some NIT games, as well as some other postseason contests. Here are the games. First up, we see Dayton and Arizona. This one's going to be a 12:45 Eastern start time in the West region. Dayton, of course, the 7 seed, Arizona the 2. Dayton, unbelievable win for this team in the first round. I mean, it's just March Madness, exactly what you expect. Expect the unexpected. It was a 17-point deficit for Dayton in the second half of that game. They were down 56-39 with 7:40 to go, and they made the miracle comeback. It's really tough to play your next game after a win like that, especially when you only have one day off in between. And when your next opponent is Arizona, one of the best teams in the country, and a team that's really tough to prepare for, in general, because of the pace that they play at and the style that they play with. Dayton is kind of the opposite team of Arizona. Dayton looks to slow the game down. They're one of the slower teams in the country, or, in the NCAA tournament this year. While Arizona, they're 8th fastest in average possession length offensively, 16th in adjusted tempo. So I do think Arizona is going to be able to dictate the tempo in this ball game, play more of an up-tempo game, and I think Dayton's going to be a bit uncomfortable on both ends of the court. I think Arizona, this is a team I have in my Final Four. I really think they're the real deal. While their first round game against Long Beach wasn't their sharpest performance, it was still a game where they won by 20 points in the end, and I think we're going to see this offense continue to improve as the tournament goes on. And Dayton, I give them credit for that huge win, huge comeback victory. As a lot of people were on Nevada in that game, and a lot of people were counting out Dayton. But I can't get there with the Flyers in this second round ball game. I just think that the matchup is really not great for them. If they were playing a team like maybe Iowa State, I would say they have a much better chance. But against this 2 seed, I got to go with Arizona and lay the points. Next up, it's Oakland and NC State in the South region. This one's 7:10 Eastern on TBS. Both teams earning upset victories in their first round games. NC State, a mild upset win against Texas Tech. They were a 5-point underdog in that game, earning the double-digit win. But Oakland, they were a 13.5-point dog at the 14-3 upset, one of the biggest upsets of the first round. And while, the first day of the first round of the tournament was not my best, I would say Oakland was the one game I was glad to get because, that was a plus 700 money line, of course, covering the spread as well. And, Oakland, we were looking to fade Kentucky. I've been looking to fade Kentucky in the first round in the tournament all season long. So it was a good opportunity for Oakland to grab that W. But in this game, while you have to worry about a letdown for a team like Oakland and doesn't get a ton of NCAA tournament wins, this is honestly not the worst matchup for the Grizzlies in the second round because we know Oakland really dominated the perimeter in that game against Kentucky. We saw Golke hit 10 threes, and overall the Grizzlies were 15 of 31 from 3, 48%. I think they're going to be able to hit those threes again, not at that kind of rate, obviously, not at 48%, but they should have the perimeter open in this game. NC State's three-point defense is not great. It's ranked 219th in the country, so I think Oakland's offense will be fine. The question is, can their defense do enough? It was great against Kentucky, a very, very potent offense, and Oakland does the fundamentals right. They're very experienced, a great head coach. I think we're catching too many points here with Oakland. I'm going to take the points with the Grizzlies. I don't know if they win the game outright, but I think they keep it close. Next up, let's switch gears and go to the NIT. We have an early game here, 11:30 in the morning. ESPN2 has North Texas and Seton Hall in the second round. Now, in the first round with Seton Hall's game against St. Joseph's, we took the points with St. Joe's. We were getting about 7.5 points, and Seton Hall won that game, but needed overtime and only won the game by 3 points. So, St. Joe's covered the number. I think we see something similar here. I wouldn't be surprised to see North Texas. We got to remember this is the reigning champion of the NIT. I think they have a good chance of covering and winning the game outright. As they kind of, one of the big reasons why we took St. Joe's in that game was because they're a great three-point shooting team. They take a ton of threes, and Seton Hall's three-point defense has been a problem basically all season long. They give up 36% of their points defensively to three-point jumpers. North Texas is 13th best in the country in three-point shooting. I've mentioned that their offense is kind of one-dimensional. It's very slow. They turn the ball over quite a bit, but they can knock down those threes and they get those offensive rebounds. So I think they actually match up well offensively, and the North Texas defense is fine. I mean, they force a lot of turnovers. Their rebounding numbers aren't the best, but they force a lot of tough shots. So I actually think North Texas matches up really well in this game. I know it's a true road game, so it's not going to be easy, but this is a pretty experienced roster, and a team has NIT experience as well. I'm going to go with North Texas plus the points in this one. Next up, we see the 7-2 matchup in the Midwest region between Texas and Tennessee. This one's going to be 8 p.m. Eastern on CBS. Both of these teams were dominant in the first round games. I mean, Tennessee, while they were playing a 15 seed in St. Peter's, still an 83-49 win is never easy to get against any tournament team, and they covered the number with ease. And it was a game where, the ball movement was there. They had 19 assists on their field goals. 70% of their field goals ended with an assist, only giving up 3 on the other side to St. Peter's. They were 46% from 3. The defense was dominant. It was one of the best performances I've seen from Tennessee in a long time. And Texas, their defense was outstanding against Colorado State, holding the Rams to 11 points in the first half and 44 points overall in that double-digit win. It's tough to go against either of these teams, but I think Tennessee matches up really well in this game. I just think that, Texas, while they're having a great season, I don't think it's their best year. I don't think it's their best team, I should say, that we've seen in the last decade. I think this is a team that offensively still has a lot of question marks, and even the fundamentals, they take quite a few fouls. They're not a great defensive rebounding team. Tennessee could certainly take advantage of that. They can get to the free throw line a ton, and they can get those offensive rebounds. They force a lot of turnovers, and they force a lot of tough shots. So I worry about that Longhorn offense in this game. I think Tennessee's defense is too much. Now, Tennessee's not known to be a great tournament team, at least in recent years, so I'm not so sure they're going to make a deep run this season, in terms of making a Final Four or anything, but I like their chances, at least in this game, and reach the second weekend. So give me Tennessee in this one. I'm going to lay the points. Next up, we see an 11-3 matchup in the Midwest region between Oregon and Creighton. This one, 9:40 Eastern on TBS. Got two great tournament coaches, I should say, going at it in this one. Oregon was the 11 seed in the 11-6 matchup against South Carolina, but depending on the number you got, Oregon, was favored in that game for quite a while as a 1.5 point favorite, and they won that game by double digits, made it look pretty easy, 87-73, the final score, and it was a game where Oregon shot 44% from 3, but South Carolina made 11 of 24 from the perimeter, 46%, yet Oregon wins that game by 14 points. Shows you how good in form the Ducks are right now, and honestly, I like their chances in this ball game. I like them plus the points and on the money line. I think they get the outright W. Oregon, while you look at the numbers on paper, doesn't look like it's great against Creighton because Creighton's a great three-point shooting team. They rely on the three-point jumper quite a bit. And while Oregon's ranked 246 in three-point defense, they honestly don't go that many points from the perimeter. That game against South Carolina was an exception, but only less than 30% of the points given up from Oregon defensively this year have been off of three-point jumpers. So I think Oregon's defense is going to be fine here. And honestly, their shot quality defense is really solid. I think this is an underrated defense. And now we see the offense really get going, scoring 87 points against such a strong defensive team and scoring 75 in that Pac-12 championship against Colorado, another good defensive team. Oregon is playing their best ball this season. They have a great tournament head coach in Dana Altman. And, I think they match up really well in this game against Creighton, who lost the first game of the Big East tournament against Providence by 5 points. Usually teams that lose their first game of a conference tournament, they don't go too far in these big dances. They've never won the NCAA tournament. So I'm going to go with Oregon here, plus the points and on the money line. And that's it. Those are the games for Saturday in college basketball. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. And don't forget to put your college basketball picks in the comment section below. Again, if you're looking for my best bets, you can find those at Pick Dawgz Premium. As always, this is Ron Romanelli. Good luck.